primary or general election dates so that you actually get a voter turnout rather than have these organized minorities come in and impose a bunch of taxes, which is what we face continually on these school funding issues.
You're right. You do need to make sure that you coordinate your any ballot issues. But let me tell you that when I served on the tax commission and when we went out and talked to taxpayers out in the poorer counties, and you're like Colorado, you have some of the poorest counties and some of the richest counties. When you talk to taxpayers in the poorest counties in Colorado, they will tell you that the right of voters to vote on tax increases is crucial. In a little town in eastern Colorado, those ranchers there said, the city came and they wanted to raise our sales tax from 2% to 5% to build a jail, new office building, and we turned it down. We turned it down year after year. Finally, they came back with a bare bones jail and a 1% increase in the sales tax. We can afford that, but we can't afford to raise our sales tax to 5% or 6%. People would just go down to the next town and buy their feed and fertilizer and so forth. So if you give citizens the right to vote on tax increases, I guarantee you will find that that is the single most favorable, widely received and accepted concept that you can get across to citizens in the state. You can get a lot of traction by going to the citizens in Montana and saying, we're going to put you in control of tax increases, not the legislature.
Is it more important to do the flat income tax than it is to cut the business and equipment tax? I mean, we have that high personal property business equipment tax. Is it more important to, which is the better? I think we can get the business equipment tax cut.
In fact, we did that. We did this as well. In Colorado, we cut the business personal property tax, we cut the sales tax, we cut the income tax. You can do all of these things if you have a budget constraint. Now, again, it's a pragmatic question. I think you're probably right. The business property tax is something that's fairly easy to get through, and particularly if it's an onerous one. But there's no reason not to pursue all these, and we've done it.
Professor Paulson, I have the distinct probably difference from most people that I pay taxes in Montana and Colorado. I have a business in Colorado, and I have lived in Montana for most of my life. But the problem that I see with the tax structure in Colorado, and tell me if I'm wrong, but the lion's share of the people that live in Colorado live in metropolitan areas that have a huge sales tax as a result of all the different city entities, RTD tax, all the different things that are heaped on. And it's, in my mind, we either need to replace the income tax with a sales tax or have a flat income tax in Montana and forget about the sales tax, because if you give a politician 2 troughs to get their food out of, they're going to increase the size of both troughs.
Well, you're not right about sales tax in Colorado. We're about average when you compare us to other states, and the reason is that while we have a very low state sales tax, one of the lowest in the country, and we give each local jurisdiction in Colorado a great deal of discretion in terms of local sales taxes. And as you describe it, you can find cities like Aspen with some of the highest sales taxes in the country, 9.5%. And they're socking it to you all when you come skiing there in Colorado. Well, you go out in those counties, eastern counties, the poorer counties, they have low local sales taxes, they have low total sales taxes. On average, we're about average compared to the other states. Now, I like that. I think local jurisdictions, if those farmers in eastern Colorado want a low sales tax, that's what they should have. If Aspen wants to sock at the skiers and put 9.5%, so be it. But it's the voters. You want to have the citizens determine what their tax burden is, not legislators.
Well, I would agree with that, except that I know that in Metro Denver and Jefferson County, I've got a business in Golden. In fact, I also in the past was a member of the Independence Institute quite a few years ago when Tom Tancredo was the president, the director. So, but I also see that the tax rate in Colorado, I mean, I wouldn't hold it up as any great ideal, because the property taxes are horrific around Metro Denver. And we've got a sales tax that is right at 8% on the sales tax with the, the various state and city entities involved.
Well, again,
and we still got a 4% income tax.
I have to disagree with you, and let me just refer you to the Tax Foundation, and they look at the total tax burden in each state, and Colorado ranks as one of the most, what's it called, the business tax climate is among the top 10 in the country, because we have the lowest total tax burden per capita among the states. So again, I would have to disagree with you. Colorado is not a high tax state.
No.